Have you ever told yourself, I'll start practicing when life calms down? Have you ever felt like your daily mess, your job stress, your family drama, or even your inner emotional chaos disqualifies you from the spiritual path? We're not alone. Many people believe that real spiritual practice requires perfect conditions, a quiet space, a clean schedule, a still mind, maybe even a retreat in the mountains. But what if the opposite is true? What if the chaos you're trying to escape is the very training ground of your awakening? What if your struggle is not the block to your practice, but the doorway to it? Welcome back, beautiful souls. Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful and misunderstood truths of spiritual life, that the real path doesn't begin when everything is peaceful and perfect. Begins in the mud, in the mess, in the moments where everything feels like it's falling apart. Because that's where awakening becomes real. That's where spiritual teachings are no longer theories, they are lifeless. That's where your heart, raw and humbled, becomes ready to receive. Let's explore this together. So many people wait for the right times to begin their inner work. They say, I'll start meditating when my kids are older. I'll be more mindful once I get this promotion. I'll commit to practice when my depression lifts, when my relationship improves, when I'm less busy. But life keeps happening, and the right time never comes. This is the trap. And this trap has kept countless souls from the very healing they long for. The truth is, the path begins exactly where you are, not after your life becomes organized, not after your pain goes away, not after your body feels better, but now, with your full plate, with your broken heart, with your noisy thoughts, with your doubts and fears and fatigue. Because guess what? That chaos is your curriculum. Those distractions are your dharma. Where irritation is your invitation. Where stress is your signal. The very thing you think is in the way is the way. Let's sit with that truth for a moment. The very thing you think is in the way is the way. Where children interrupting your meditation, that's the practice, patience, presence, unconditional love. Where overwhelming workload, that's the practice, the tension, detachment from results, sacred effort. Where emotional breakdowns, that's the practice, vulnerability, self-compassion, surrender. Where broken relationships, your financial chaos, your aching back, your sleepless nights, all of it, yes, all of it, is not outside your spiritual life. Is your spiritual life. There's no other life to practice in. There's no magical future moment where everything aligns perfectly and then you become wise. Wisdom grows in the middle of your struggle, not apart from it. This is something the Buddha understood deeply. He didn't awaken in a monastery. He awakened after walking through extreme austerity, confusion, exhaustion, and deep disappointment with both luxury and renunciation. His breakthrough came when he sat down under the Bodhi tree in the middle of uncertainty, with no guarantees and no perfect conditions, and turned inward. He faced every distraction, every inner demon, every fear. And only then did clarity rise. That tree was surrounded by noise, by danger, by doubts, but he made it his still point. That's the invitation for you. Make your life, your exact life, your Bodhi tree. Sit under the pressure of your responsibilities. Sit in the discomfort of your grief. Sit with your guilt, your dreams, your confusion. And just breathe, watch, listen. Because spiritual practice is not something you do when things are quiet. It's what helps you be steady when everything is loud. Let me tell you a story, the true story. There was a woman who used to practice meditation before he had children. Her mornings were quiet, her evenings were harassed. He journaled, he read sacred texts, he felt serene. And life changed. He got married, had 2 kids, took a demanding job. Her house was always noisy, her mind was always running, her practice, he thought, was gone. Years passed, he missed the stillness, but felt defeated. I just don't have time, he said. One day, in a rare moment of quiet, her youngest child fell asleep on her chest. He didn't move, he just sat there, holding him, breathing. And in that moment, something clicked. Her body softened, her breath slowed, ears fell. You realized, oh, this is it. This is my practice. This is meditation. This is devotion. Not in spite of my child, because of him. From that day forward, he stopped waiting for practice done. He made her life the practice. He chanted while folding laundry. He prayed while driving to work. He watched her breath while washing dishes. He offered each moment to the divine, the sacred hidden in plain sight. And over time, something miraculous happened. Her heart began to glow again, not because her life became easier, but because he stopped resisting it. This is the transformation waiting for all of us when we stop trying to escape life and start using it. Let's be honest. Modern life is noisy. Our phone buzzes. Our deadlines press. Our family pulls at you. Our body aches. Our mind races. You forget, you stumble, you feel overwhelmed. And all of that is okay. What matters is not how often you fall out of alignment. What matters is how quickly and gently you return. Because every time you return, you build strength. Every time you remember, you create space. Every time you forgive yourself and begin again, you deepen your roots. This is what real progress looks like. Not perfection, but persistence. Not escaping your human life, but sanctifying it. Taking tea can be a ritual. Eating pills can be an act of presence. Disciplining your child can be an exercise in compassion. Listening to a friend vent can be a practice of patience. Waiting in traffic can be your breath awareness. Every moment holds the potential to awaken, not because it's peaceful, but because you are present. That's the difference. Peace doesn't come when everything is quiet. Peace comes when you're no longer disturbed by the noise. And that kind of peace only grows when you practice in the fire. There's a saying from Zen tradition, "No mud, no lotus." The lotus, pure and beautiful, blooms only in the thickest mud. So don't be ashamed of your mess. Where chaos is fertile ground. Where stress is sacred cell. Where confusion is the crack where light gets in. But only if you use it. Only if you stop saying, "I can't practice because of this," and start saying, "I must practice with this." This is what the Buddha taught. This is what all great masters embody. This is what you are being invited to remember now. You don't need to retreat from life to awaken. You just need to stop retreating from yourself, right here, right now. So, let's continue to unravel the myth that your life must be in perfect order before you can truly engage in spiritual practice. In fact, let's go even further and say this. If your life is chaotic, if your relationships are strained, if your inner world feels turbulent, you are in the perfect place to begin. Because spiritual practice is not for the already enlightened. It is for the struggling mother, the overworked father, the stressed student, the lonely elder. It is for the person who wakes up tired and goes to bed restless. It is for the one who doubts, who aches, who fails, who tries again. It is for you just as you are. Let's talk about suffering for a moment, because that's often what makes us feel unfit for practice. We think, I'm too depressed, too anxious, too distracted, can't focus, can't sit still, I'm not spiritual enough. But what if your pain is not a problem to solve, but a portal to enter? What if your suffering is not a disqualification, but a doorway? Suffering is not a detour on the path, it is the path. Buddhism begins not with enlightenment, but with diakao, the truth of suffering. Not to dwell in it, but to understand it. Look at it deeply, gently, honestly. Ask, where does this suffering come from? What am I clinging to? What am I resisting? And to allow that inquiry to guide you inward. When life is easy, the ego can stay comfortable. But when life breaks you open, that's when the deeper self emerges. A you that is humble, compassionate, soft. A you that no longer needs to control everything. A you that begins to surrender, not in defeat, but in devotion. This is the gift of difficulty. Forces you to let go. Strips away illusions. It reveals what really matters. That is the soul of awakening. That is the sacred ground of practice. Now let's talk about resistance, that inner voice that says, not now, not today, don't feel ready. Resistance is not your enemy, it is your teacher. It shows you exactly where your growth lies. It whispers stories that keep you small. You'll never change. This is pointless. You'll never be consistent. But here's the truth, with consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means coming back again and again. Then if you fall 100 times, if you return to presence once more, you are practicing. Then if you yelled at your child this morning, if you breathe deeply now and bring awareness to your tone, you are practicing. Then if you skip meditation for weeks, if you sit down today for one mindful breath, you are practicing. That's the miracle. The path is always waiting. The divine is always listening. The sacred is never far. You just have to turn toward it. Right here. Wait now. With all your mess, all your mistakes, all your longing. Nothing needs to be fixed before you begin. You begin in the brokenness. You begin in the overwhelm. You begin wherever you are. And slowly, not all at once, but steadily, things begin to shift. Not because the world changes, but because you do. You stop reacting automatically. You start responding thoughtfully. You begin to notice your thoughts instead of being ruled by them. You begin to soften your judgments of others and of yourself. You begin to see divinity in small things: a child's laugh, a cup of tea, a quiet moment of breath. This is what practice does, not by removing you from life, but by revealing the sacred within it. And when you live this way, with awareness, even in chaos, your life itself becomes a temple, where home becomes your monastery, where work becomes your offering, where words become your mantra, where attention becomes your devotion. Let me remind you, the Buddha didn't only teach monks in forests, he taught householders, farmers, merchants, errands, widows. He knew that the path was not for the few, it was for the willing. He didn't ask for silence, he asked for sincerity. That is what is being asked of you. Not to escape your life, but to meet it fully, with open eyes, with a brave heart, with a willingness to say, this too is my practice, this argument, this bill, this brief, this joy, this moment. Every moment becomes a bell calling you back to yourself. Not later, but tomorrow. Always now. Let's draw everything we've uncovered into the heart, not as a conclusion, but as a beginning, because that's what this entire journey has been about, beginning again, beginning where you are, beginning right in the thick of your life, your mess, your ache, your love, your longing. What if everything in your life right now, yes, even the noise, the heartbreak, the failed attempts, the tight schedules, the anxiety, is not a mistake or a barrier, but a perfectly designed curriculum for your awakening? What if the very reason your life feels too chaotic to practice is because that chaos is the flame that will forge your deepest wisdom? It's not only possible, it's the truth. Spirituality is not a reward for those who have perfect lives. It's not reserved for monks on mountaintops, for sages in silence, or for those who have figured it all out. It's for the tired father who gets angry but apologizes. It's for the anxious mother who takes one mindful breath instead of yelling. It's for the lonely elder who lights a candle before breakfast simply to remember the sacred still exists. It's for you. It always has been. You don't need to wait to begin. You don't need a retreat center or perfect posture or 2 hours of silence. You need breath. You need willingness. You need the courage to show up, even if you don't know how. So start where you are. Start in the chaos. Start in the heartbreak. Start in the traffic jam, the cluttered room, the endless to-do list. Start with one breath. Start with one act of kindness. Start with 5 seconds of stillness. And when you forget, begin again. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are on the path. The path just looks different than you thought it would. But that's the way it has always been for those who truly awaken. Not straight, not smooth, not ideal, but real. Life, full of unexpected grace. So now, I want to hear from you. Has your life ever felt too messy to practice? What have been your greatest obstacles? What have you discovered about yourself when you chose to lean into the chaos rather than run from it? Leave your story in the comments. You never know who might read it and feel less alone. And if this message has touched your heart, please support this channel, like, subscribe, and consider becoming a member. Your presence helps keep this space alive for others who are walking through similar fires. Until next time, may your chaos become your teacher, your struggle become your strength, and may your life, exactly as it is, become your sacred ground.